Welcome to Retrograde, the show where we kick retro games right in the footbag. This is episode number 43, and today we're discussing the classic video game California Games. My name is Jack Marshall, and I'm joined today by Anthony Hobday.
Hello.
Zan Fisher.
Hi.
And James McFadden.
Hey.
Yay, back once again with the Retrograde Masters. Did that in the actual voice.
Do we need a trademark claim for that?
What?
I think we have to
again
get.
with the Retrograde Masters.
I think we have to get the rights for the original song before we can.
Yeah, we might
copyrights,
get
anything to do with
a
it.
letter through the mail soon about
Well, no one even remembers who sung it, so...
the people who sang it probably remember.
I don't think
And
they
I'm
do.
sure they listen.
That's probably
every
all they
episode.
remember, Jack.
just
I
keep
used to be famous.
They just keep getting royalty
Who can
checks.
I sue?
Like, why are we getting royalty checks all the time?
Wasn't it Scatman?
No, it wasn't Scatman. He would have gone like Scabba-da-bee-blah-bee-blah-bee in the middle of the song.
That was after.
Oh,
That was after, yeah. Anyone got anything interesting to share? What have you been up to? Who wants to go first?
I went to a university party last night, and university students are different from how I remember me being when I was that age. Like, I didn't realise how much I'd changed as I grew older.
Why?
Does that make sense?
Do they play beer pong now?
No, that's beer bong. No, beer bong?
Beer pong?
Beer pong?
Is it,
That's the ping pong.
Oh, beer
table
bong is the
with-
thing you drink it out of. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't drink, listeners. I get my beer ong related terms.
You just
mixed
play
up.
Pong, didn't you?
I do like a bit of pong. When are we doing pong, by the way? So much to talk about.
So much to talk about.
Graphics alone.
The aesthetic, the pastiche.
Don't look at me when you
The
say that.
So
ludonarrative
hang
dissonance
on,
in
why,
pong.
why were you at a university party, Anthony? You're really not a student anymore.
Friend of a friend of a
Hey Anthony, who else was
Friend of a
there?
friend of a friend. Sounds like you crashed it.
Yes.
Ah,
Anthony.
was that
Why are they no longer like you when you were at uni?
Well, I mean,
because
because
they drink?
it's like when you're 18, you feel a certain way,
Because
right?
they're at a party.
Wait, because they have friends.
No, and this sort of ties into nostalgia, right? So when you're 18, you feel a certain way, and you feel like the oldest you've ever felt, because that's true.
But also
when
the
you're
youngest you've ever felt.
no, because the youngest you've ever felt was when you were born.
Blowing my mind.
But when
Oh,
you're
that's a good
25,
point.
you look at 18-year-olds and think they're not acting the same as I thought I did. But really, you did act that way. You just didn't think about it at the time. So I was reminded, in some unfortunate senses, and in some fortunate senses, that 18-year-olds are different to 25-year-olds.
Are you going to back that up with any anecdotes?
examples?
Or any,
No, but
No, I'm going to leave it to
details?
titillate you.
Any examples? Why? Because they're more immature, or they're not playing SNES games and things like that? I don't know. What?
There was actually a saucy game of Twister played.
Oh, really?
Every game of Twist is a game saucy game for me.
Right,
Depends who
but
you're playing it with, Jack.
I imagine that
Cousins.
25-year-olds play a lot less Twister games in general. So I think 18-year-olds have
Because
got...
we're too old to twist that way anymore.
Yeah, we've got these old bones.
Well, I know what you mean though. That if I go into a club and it's clearly on like a Thursday night, which I don't know why I'm in a
It's
club
like
on a Thursday
Moses
night,
parting the
even
ocean.
though, yeah, no, it is though. even though I don't look that much older, or do I do? I look like 35. But even though I don't look that much older, I just feel older, and I just look around going, yeah, no, I shouldn't be here.
It's to do with
People are judging
mindset,
me.
though. It's not to do with age. I mean, I feel older than most people who are out like getting drunk, and I'm 21 for God's sake. I'm old before my time.
You're an old soul.
Yeah, I'm going to get some leather elbow patches from a
Excellent.
jacket and start teaching at university. So yeah,
I've got to that age that now, when if I see like girls out clubbing in miniskirts, I just think, oh, they must be really cold.
Yeah, their legs
Like,
must be
they
so-
must be freezing. How do they do that?
I ran up and put a blanket around them.
Yeah, no, you want to put them in a taxi.
Get inside in front of the fire, love. Take your kebab back to your parents'
Who
house.
else? Who else? James, what have you been up to?
That
Anything
was really
interesting?
weird.
Anything playing?
Nothing that interesting. I saw 12 Years a Slave, which has a lot of
yeah.
hype surrounding it right now.
Steve McQueen.
Yeah, was it any good?
Oh, nobody's seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. No, it's on the list.
It's a well-crafted piece of cinema, is all I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm going to say. Well-crafted piece of
But
cinema.
it's Steve McQueen and Michael Fassbender, and he also made Shame, which is...
And Benedict
Shame was
Cumberbatch,
good.
Brad
Favourite
Pitt.
of mine.
Shame was good. I enjoyed Shame more, because 12 Years a Slave, from the marketing material, I didn't realise quite how stark a look at the whole
Yeah.
slavery
It's very
thing
violent,
it would be.
right? Very,
it's
very
extremely violent. Sometimes a little gratuitously, I think.
Yeah.
But it's very well made. One
Okay,
complaint...
So it's not a nice date movie.
No, it's one of the most horrifying films I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah,
I've
definitely.
Wow.
I've heard it being put up there with like the Passion of Christ in terms of sheer brutality.
It's
of, like,
incredible.
Oh, I didn't see
Lord.
that for religious reasons.
Well, I was funny said because I saw Wolf on Wall Street as well, and
How's
I have
that?
to say it's a well-crafted piece of cinema.
Oh, come on. Do you like Scorsese?
Leo doesn't deserve an Oscar for it. If he wins an Oscar for it, I'll be a little bit like. Oh,
But are you a fan of Scorsese's other films?
I adore
Yes.
Scorsese.
Well,
Scorsese's
yeah,
a hard word to
Goodfellas,
say.
right? Goodfellas and
Goodfellas,
Raging Bull.
Raging
Taxi
Bull,
Driver, The
Shutter-
Departed, The
Shutter
Departed,
Island.
love
Departed's
Departed.
great, yeah. Wasn't a fan of. Did he do Shutter Island?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wasn't
that
a fan
was
of Shutter
brilliant.
Island.
Oh, really?
I didn't really enjoy that. But
That's
no,
like Charlotte's favourite film.
Wolf of Street's very good. 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Which is like you could have got rid of an hour in there.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it just kind of, you don't feel bad for the lead character, basically.
Okay.
Leo does a good job acting, but it is someone, I saw this thing, it was like Oscar-winning films, if they had the real names, and it was just douchebag porn. And that's basically how I would get it. It's like douchebag porn. It's good, but it's kind of a bit like, oh, bloody hell. Like, there's a bit where they're throwing midgets at a dartboard in the stock exchange, and it's fun. But you know what I mean?
Brilliant. I went and saw American Hustle last night whilst we were on about watching these amazing
Jennifer
movies.
Lawrence is in that film.
She is in that film. She is brilliant in that film.
really?
I love her.
She doesn't
Good.
deserve
No, I love her.
I would
No,
go.
you
I would
wouldn't.
go gay for her.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
No, you
doesn't
wouldn't.
she doesn't
I would.
deserve an Oscar for the performance, sorry, mate.
Hey, Jack, shut the
Have you
up.
seen it?
Yeah, I saw American Hustle.
Okay.
If she wins this, it'll be the first actress to win 2 back-to-back Oscars, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
How was the film?
It was good. You'll love it because it's character driven
Good.
over plot. It's all about character. And I read when I got home, I read the trivia on IMDb about it, and it said that essentially there was virtually no script. It was predominantly ad-libbed on
That's
set.
really cool. I like it when that
And
happens.
so the director, because he wanted it to be a character thing, he let the actors ad-lib it. He was like, okay, we're going to do a scene. This has just happened. Respond how your character would. Go.
I suppose that
And
works
then
with such
he
an
would
all-star
film it.
cast.
Exactly. With such a talented cast, you can get away with it. But it does show in the sense that the plot takes a very long time.
Yeah.
It's only a 2-hour film, but it feels a lot longer.
That's
I mean,
longer than
it's still enjoyable, but for the amount of story content, it's.
Yeah.
And Amy Adams cannot do a British accent. It's ridiculous.
I got a bit bored, to be honest, watching it. I think for
I
the
got
same
a bit
reason.
bored towards the end.
But Amy Adams is up for an actor Oscars.
Yeah.
Actor Oscars.
Oscar. Oh dear.
Actress
Acting
Oscar.
Yeah.
I thought actresses are now called actors as well, to be honest.
Well, it's
I think they are, yeah.
Why do they still separate?
it's now interchangeable.
Why do they still separate actors and actresses in roles for the Oscars? Why don't they also do
Well,
best
because
actor?
So you know which one's legitimate?
Because then I don't know, they just do.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Put them in the same
Men
category.
versus women. They don't want men and women to compete in the same thing in case women do better than men. That's why.
God forbid.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's not like
Women
sports,
historically
I can
doing better
obviously
than men in all
understand.
Yeah, I
of
know.
the competitions.
I know.
But women are undisputably worse actors, so.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's no one in this table I could offend with that, so that's why I'm happy to say it.
Yeah.
I also saw Frozen.
Nobody listening either.
Loved it. Saw it as well.
Loved it
Loved
too.
it. Fantastic.
I thought Frozen was amazing. Oh, and I saw The Hobbit. It's been a very busy cinema week.
Not
for me.
as good as Tangled.
And I saw The Hobbit.
Though, sadly. For
No,
Frozen.
it wasn't.
But
Frozen
it's-
wasn't as good as Tangled,
lovely to
but
see
it was
Disney.
still brilliant.
I've been listening to that song "Let It Go" on my Spotify playlist.
I'm not surprised.
Non-stop. Let it go. It's a great song.
It's
It is
Disney,
great.
right?
Disney.
Yeah.
And
but
it's proper.
But it's
proper
modern Disney.
Have Disney
so they've let go of
stopped-
the traditional values.
Have they now stopped making 2D animated films? Do they just make CGI stuff?
No,
now?
they still are doing. They've split. John Lasseter split them into 2, which is why Tangled is the second most expensive film ever made.
Oh, really?
Because he said he became his creative director for the film side, and he said, right, let's stop doing these terrible sequels like Little Mermaid 2 and Alice in Wonderland 2 and all these things.
Yeah.
He said, let's go back to doing what we do best. So they commissioned Princess and the Frog and Tangled. So they split them into free animation,
see.
hand-drawn
Okay.
animation.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next film is in terms of their hand-drawn animation, because both Princess and the Frog and Tangled amazingly didn't do that well, but they got so much budget behind them to try and make these big things.
That's weird as well, because I would have thought Disney films would be totally up there in the box office. But
When I was thinking, and I don't really understand what's happened recently, and I need to research all the sort of animation studios and who's making who and who's doing what, because Despicable Me done really well, The Croods did really well,
really?
and it's kind of, there's a lot of studios that are doing very well, like Cloud of Chance of Meatball done really well, and now you've got
That's
Disney.
English, isn't it?
Disney are making Planes, but that wasn't made by Pixar.
Yeah.
They made one of their own animation studios, made that, and I don't understand anymore who are the studios making different things. Like I can't remember who made Ice Age, who made
And they've all
this.
got really similar art styles
Exactly,
as well.
it's very
DreamWorks
generic.
are in the mix as well.
DreamWorks
Steven
are in the
Spielberg.
Suck so hard. I can't ever
but
watch a CGI 3D film
How
that
to train
isn't
your
Pixar.
How to Train Your
I
Dragon
watched
was
that over
DreamWorks,
Christmas.
and that wasn't bad.
I didn't
didn't like
Didn't
it.
like it?
It was
Oh,
boring.
Yeah.
It just
I don't get
Pixar
why everyone
Pixar
goes
make
for that.
really nice films, like at least visually. I mean, I don't actually enjoy a lot of them, but visually, Pixar films are really pretty. But DreamWorks films are actually, I find them kind of ugly, especially like Disney ones as well that aren't even DreamWorks. Like I think they're a tier below, and they just.
Frozen is visually
It
stunning.
is beautiful.
It's-
Yeah, it's
it-
even
absolutely
compared to-
stunning.
It ups the quality I've seen of Pixar. Putting out.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
interesting.
for the ice and snow special effects.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh yeah,
stunning.
I saw the physics engine demo that someone
Yeah.
posted.
It's
It's very
beautiful,
impressive.
Oh,
and it's a
okay,
really
cool.
nice story. Like I said, it's modern. They've gone away from
In-
the traditional women can only be happy once a prince saves
Yeah.
them. It goes away from that archetype that they've used.
So it's a
for
bit
the
less
last 60
realistic,
years.
but Cool. Okay.
In more gaming news, I sadly gave up on Dark Souls. It's just not for
Yeah, it
me,
doesn't surprise me,
sadly.
Jack.
No, but I was actually really enjoying it, but I found it really difficult, and I found difficulty enjoyable, and I was going to talk to you about it, because there was just certain things that I went, that's just being, like, annoying more than difficult. For example, I wanted to change the brightness, and the game didn't pause. But I went into the pause menu.
Yeah, the game doesn't pause when you
and I was
go
like,
into the menu. That's
why
the point.
Yeah, but I'm changing the brightness.
Find a safe place and do it. That's the whole deal with Dark Souls. It's like when you
Cheeky.
change your gear and stuff, no, the
And-
game's still going.
And I
There's
don't
no
know
safe
if it was,
place.
I don't know if it was my mistake, but it just felt like the save points were so far apart.
They are, but that's the point. You have to survive to the next one.
But I've proved myself already.
No, you haven't, because if you proved yourself, you wouldn't have died and then gone back.
And I faced the same skeleton dudes again and again. I was like, and I think it is a very good game, but I just found there were little design choices like that, which they've done that on purpose, but it just didn't sit with me.
Fair enough.
And made me kind of like. So I did the first bit. I got up to the tower bit. This big, massive Minotaur thing.
Yeah,
ran.
see, when I first got to him, I didn't play the game for about a year, but then I went back, beat him, understood the game a bit more, and then really
Well, that's the thing. I
enjoyed
got to him, I died, and I was taken all the way back to the campfire. And I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure I
yeah.
missed a save. I must have missed a save.
Well,
point.
did you go all the way back to the original campfire?
Original campfire where the dude's
Yeah.
sitting there going, "Hello there." how
Yeah,
are
you missed one.
See, that's the thing. I think if I had that save point, I might be alright. If I keep going back there, it is a good game, but I didn't get it. So I started playing a game called Scapegoat, which is fantastic, by the way, and another one, Sleeping Dogs, because it was free.
Oh,
I'm really liking it. It's such quite fun. I like Sleeping Dogs, not bad.
Sleeping Dogs uses a vibrant open world, not for missions, but for background, which is what I love about it.
I just love
And
the
he's
fact
just reading the back of the ball.
I love the fact that when you grab a guy, like when you're in a fight, there's environmental hazards, but you can grab a guy and kind of throw him into a phone box or throw him into like a grinder or something. And it's just funny because you can grab each guy and throw them into this grinder.
Yeah.
And if someone's watching, they'll be like, "This guy's a freaking nutcase. He keeps lobbing him into this grinder. He's just killed 7 guys in a row."
You think the grinder would break eventually? It's not rated for
No,
human bodies.
Well, that's the
At
thing,
least
it
not
doesn't-
one on one.
The environmental hazards, some of them use them once and that's it. Others you can use again and again.
Yeah.
So you can end up with like 7 corpses hanging outside of this like grinder thing. Brilliant.
I can't finish a Grand Theft Auto game, but I definitely finished Sleeping Dogs. It's more linear, I think, and it's
We should probably start talking about California games because it's such an amazing game. We'll be spending so long talking about it. I mean, we're going to be hard to keep this under an hour. But before we talk about this incredible game, let's get a brief blurb on the game from our own Zan Fisher.
California Games is a 1987 epic sports video game for many home computers and video game consoles. Branching from their popular Summer Games and Winter Games series, this game consisted of some sports popular in California at the time, including skateboarding, freestyle footbag, surfing, roller skating, flying disc, and BMX. The game sold very well, topping game selling charts for winter months. It also got very positive reaction from reviewers, many of whom consider California Games to be the last classic epic sports game due to staff changes not long after its release. The game was followed in 1991 by California Games 2, but the sequel failed to match the original's success. And it's crap.
Thanks for that, Lazanne. Wasn't hard for you, was it?
Painful.
And yeah, it's my. If you want to be a guest VO, whether you have a blog to promote, a podcast, or just a fan of the show, get in touch because we're looking for more people to do voice VOs. Because yeah, that'd be
Voice
You
videos.
can't say voice VOs.
'cause that's
VO is-
voiceovers.
VO is
Yeah.
a voiceover.
ATM machine.
Exactly, it's one of those.
Voiceover.
Also,
Just say a voiceover.
don't forget the
Voiceovers.
Paul Monahan giveaway.
Yes, I was about to come on to that. We have to do the competition.
Indeed, Lizanne. The Paul Monahan giveaway this episode around. I always want to say this week, but it's every 2 weeks, so this week doesn't make any sense. I mean,
This fortnight,
it is a week, but this fortnight sounds like no one says that.
you could start it.
This episode's Paul Monahan giveaway is for copies of Blood Money, Just Cause 2, and Dungeon Siege, which are all relatively well-received Square Enix games.
Relatively.
Square Enix. Except for maybe Dungeon Siege, I've never played it. But Blood Money and Just Cause 2, definitely. Anyway, we were giving those away last episode, and the winner is... Agbavna. Which is... that's the
And
problem
who's
with...
the winner?
Agbavna. Which is the problem with giving
No,
away...
no, you need to say it clear. You're coughing.
Bless you.
The problem is giving away prizes on Twitter is you have to read out these usernames,
Yeah.
and sometimes they're not designed for speech.
I'm just glad we haven't had a rude one yet. Like Willie Hanger 4 or something like that.
Willie Hanger 4.
Yeah. He's out there, I'm following him.
That was just so you know. That was the original concept name for this podcast.
Sorry, Anthony.
But yeah, you have won, whoever you are. We're going to be contacting you on Twitter with the codes. They're on Steam. And next episode, we are getting away copies of Orcs Must Die 2 That's the second game. If you want to kill some orcs, everyone hates orcs, except goblins. And Amnesia, which is great if you like running away from things that. One game is if you like killing things that you don't like, and one game is if you like running away from things you don't like. So that's sort of a very loose connection between the two prizes.
Catering to both types.
And not just because it was the first 2 items on the list of prizes we had to give away. So if you want to enter with a chance to win those, just retweet the competition details on Twitter when we put them up.
Yeah.
And we'll announce the winner in the next show.
And don't forget, if you're enjoying the show so far, you can pop over to iTunes and write us down a review. We haven't had one for a little while, which is a bit of a shame, but we give away badges. We've got loads of badges.
How many badges have you got left, Jack?
Oh, not many. They're so rare. They're limited edition. I haven't got that many.
Out of the original 1,000 batch of badges he bought, he has 999 left.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's an extra one he found in his pocket.
I'm hoping for the day that I see a Retrograde badge out in the wild.
That's never going to happen.
It's gonna be rare.
not going to happen.
Imagine that.
Unless we just post them to random people.
Imagine I'm like backpacking in Kilimanjaro or something, and I see someone in front of me with a Retrograde
No, we need to do.
badge.
We need to
Good
go
Lord.
to some kind of retro gaming event and hand out loads of them.
Just don't even hand them out. Just sneak them on people.
Yeah, exactly. Just sneak up and like put them in people's
Just
bags.
accidentally
Yeah.
stab people
And
in the
not
back.
at a retro event, just in like Morrison's.
Just stabbing people in the back with pins. Like, what's that? Sorry, I'm trying to put his badge on you.
But do we want to be those guys at events who bother people and try and promote their...
Everyone, that's
Yeah.
what an event is for.
No, for those guys it is, but the people who are going...
What we'll
they try and
do,
play free
we'll go
games.
to the game event. We'll hang around in a corner looking like cool kids. When people come over, go, "Can we part of your gang?" Go, "All right, have a badge." We're not giving them out. We're like, we're not promoting a podcast, but you look cool. You can be in.
That does work quite often, I think.
It is quite an inner circle. The Retrograde listeners, you're all cool to me. You're all my best friends.
That's nice.
Just, listeners, just so you know, when Jack said that, he did a punching thumbs up.
You will get if you write a
imagine
review for us on iTunes, you'll get a punching thumbs up from me. I'll put it on Twitter. and
That's a
tweet you.
guarantee.
Oh my god, we need to do that as a picture and get it on postcards. Just Jack doing the punching thumbs up. That'd be amazing.
Anyway, I know you're all eager to talk about it. California Games. Can't wait. This is I chose this game because I used to play this when I was a child on the Atari ST, and I freaking loved it. It is fantastic, and going back and playing it, I still get tears of laughter. It was fantastic. My history goes, I used to go to this little shop called
Tesco.
Equinox, I think it was Equinox video game shop, and this was back in the old days when it was like video game shops were independent retailers, and they were like gods behind the counters.
Yeah.
They were like, oh my god, this guy must have the best life ever. I thought they were like Playboy mansion owners, these guys working in these video game shops. And I saw this game, and it had really promoted on the box. It was like 7 games in one, and I was like, 7 games in one? How could I possibly lose out? And I
Were you
didn't
3?
lose out. I was young. I was about 5 years old, I think.
Okay.
We were always in my family like a generation behind when it came to consoles. We got
Okay.
the SNES when the N64 came out. We got the N64 when the GameCube was coming out. Always behind. We couldn't afford the new ones. So
Aw.
we had the Atari ST when everyone else had the NES and stuff like that, or the SNES and things like that, and Master Systems. But yeah, so I got this game, took it home, put it in, never looked back.
I had a cup and ball.
That's next. Is that not next week's episode? The Cup and Ball.
But only once the Cup and Ball 2 was released, because we couldn't afford Cup and Ball.
You had to make it. Just a ping pong ball and a string.
When
and a
that
normal
string
cup.
broke, I cried for days. Where are we going to get new string? It doesn't grow on whatever string
trees.
it grows on.
Worms. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I guess I take it none of you have ever played this game before.
What's your favourite event on it?
Frisbee, because it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Because it's so funny because so you do the frisbee, you do the little like warm up. It's one of the easier games. You do the thing, you got to hit the line for the angle, and then hit the game for the speed. But then the favourite funny part, and I laugh even think about it, is then you control the person
Yeah.
who's got to grab it, and if the person who grabs it, they do a dive. So it's not a dive. And it's the thing about this game. There's such small little animation bits that it's
Yeah.
like they
It's like 2
purposely made them
frames.
as ridiculous as possible. Because when you dive, they don't dive; they just fall over, and you got to hope that their hand that's in the air lands on the frisbee. And it's
Yeah.
brilliant. I really enjoyed
Anthony
it.
and I spent about half an hour playing that mini game before we realised that we could move the second character. So we were just throwing it.
Tell them how we realised that you could move the second player.
Because we just threw it and like were we just mashing buttons after it happened?
I guess you were.
And then the camera panned over, and eerily, this was creepy actually.
Yeah, it
eerily
was.
enough, the person who used to stand there was now like on their side, like looking dead. Like what the fuck? So we realised after that they doved over.
Dived.
Divin, like I said, and then we figured it out, and then we tried to master it, and then we did master it.
Well, the art of it is as the frisbee's coming over, you have to kind of be just behind the frisbee. And it's
No,
actually easy to
that's
grab it because
not.
then they bounce on the finger. But if you want to dive for it, you have to be just behind it. And then you got to
You're
dive.
wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
What's that?
We figured out an even better way to get
So
more
you just
points.
run straight at the frisbee.
Yeah, you run straight at the frisbee from the other side because then you get more points if you catch it from that direction.
Oh, really? I didn't
You
know.
catch it from the right side to
See?
the left. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard to
20
follow.
years later, and I'm still learning
I know,
things
right?
about this game.
Well, it took us like 5 minutes to figure that out. But yeah, so yeah, that's.
Did you play it on the NES, you guys?
Um,
Because it made me laugh when I said to you, right, okay, guys, here's how you get this working on an emulator. And I said, all you got to do, when it says put disc 2 in, go back to the emulator menu, switch it to another disc, and you both went, can't bother with that. Not doing that, I'll just play the NES version. Easy, put the cartridge in.
I watched a Let's Play. I'm going to be honest.
Which is,
No,
well,
James came to my place and played it. And we were playing the NES version, and then I played the Atari ST once you linked it to us because it looks different.
yeah, no, there were, I should have written this down, but I think there were about 12 different
I
versions.
played the Mega Drive one.
Oh.
Yeah, well, you guys all played those, just to name some of them, the MSX, Atari 2600, the Amstrad, the ZX Spectrum, Apple II,
What's the
Commodore
version you
64,
have on
NES.
your laptop right now?
On the laptop, we're looking at the
That's
NES
the NES.
version right now. You can see by the borders.
It scrolls between
fact,
all
I
the
should-
different versions.
I should mention this because I stumbled upon these video YouTube guys called they do Let's Compare
Oh, that's
play
cool.
videos where they basically play all the different versions of old retro games and put them all in one video. So we've got on screen
Oh,
here
nice.
now, and I will link to it in the show notes because it's fantastic. Because he did an hour video on YouTube of all the different mini games on all the different platforms, and they've got this for loads of retro games, and it's really good. And it's only got like 4,000 hits, which I guess 'cause it's California
Only
games.
4,000?
No, but that's quite. I'm like,
God.
this is quite an old video now.
We
and-
get way more than that.
and at the start of the video, there's a little blog. At the start of the video, there's a little blog of the guy saying, I couldn't find this version. It looks like it's been, lost in the archives and stuff like that. But yeah, it's fantastic. Any other game, Zan, you haven't mentioned yet? You hated this, did you? I'm guessing.
Yes.
How could you hate this game, Lisanne? Just before... Okay, get rid of any notions you have about the game right now, okay? Reset your emotional state regarding this game to blank for 1 second, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now think about the game. Do you actually hate it, or have you adopted a position in which now you must defend your opinion that may not even be based on the game, but maybe based on your desire to insult the game because it's Jack's favoritist?
How dare you?
Are you implying that I would allow my emotional feelings towards Jack to cloud my judgment of the game?
I just said that. It's not even
I
implication.
can say that's completely not true because if you
Okay.
remember, I did actually love Half-Life, which was a game that Jack made us play. So
Yeah, he made
my
us play it,
proven
yeah.
track record shows that
Okay.
my feelings for Jack do not cloud my judgment. This is just a terrible game.
Taken out of context, that could be a fun
Yeah.
little sentence. So you
Yeah, no, of
genuinely
course I
hate
didn't like it. Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
If all the characters were replaced with Mario
Right,
characters.
I've already said I don't like mini games as a concept for
You
a
like
whole
Mario
game.
Party,
Yeah, but that has a board on it, and
but that just connects the
it's
mini
a board
games.
game.
It's not a
Yeah,
board
and
game,
it connects
really.
the mini games, which is nice. This didn't have enough of a connection. Hated Kirby Superstar for the same reason.
okay.
It was just a collection of mini games, and I didn't find. That's not the completing the mini games isn't enough of a draw for me to want to play a game for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a mini game, try it, don't like it, move on to the next one, because it's a mini game. I don't have to keep going at it.
Yeah, yeah.
If it was introduced in a sequential format whereby I had to complete the BMX to this number of points before I could get another game, then I would have to keep playing it, but I don't. So, yeah,
Wait, so you'd rather be forced to play all of them?
it would make me play them for longer,
Oh, really?
is what I'm saying.
So you think that forced linearity would compel you to play more of the game?
Well, yeah, because you'd have to.
Why would
Otherwise,
you-
you wouldn't get more of the game.
Oh, that's interesting. Because usually there's an argument to be made for all of the game being given. Like with Rock Band that we played recently. I remember Dara O'Brien, the famous comedian, actually talked once about how having to unlock the songs in that game is ridiculous. Because you've bought the game, you should be given them all immediately.
Yeah, but that's a different medium. That's a different format.
Well, it's the same medium, really.
Well,
They're both
no,
games.
because it's a completely different type of game.
No, but
They're
my-
not. You're not.
yeah, I know that.
The songs aren't mini games. It should just the songs. You want the ones that you like. You're not going to play the songs you don't like first. You want to play the songs that you do like first, and it's already content that you're familiar with and you know about. Therefore, you're going to prioritise it. Whereas with this, it's not content that you know about,
Oh, fair enough.
and so therefore, I'm just saying.
But generally
I
then-
didn't play each mini game for that long because I thought they were terrible.
But generally, do you think
So-
then that, like...
So what
Putting
I'm
them-
saying is that if they were in a linear format, yes, I would have played them for longer because I had to.
Okay.
I'm just blown away that in the middle of the table I put a nice bowl of Haribo for everyone, and I just looked over. There's only fizzy cola bottles left, and those are my
Oh,
favourites.
wow, there's the best ones.
Who's been leaving just a fizzy cola
I've
bottle?
been eating the fizzy cola bottles.
There's just look at the
Anthony.
bowl. There's just fizzy
Yeah,
cola
no,
balls.
that's all good.
But I thought it was like someone was like, oh, fizzy cola balls. Not having those.
Well,
Oh,
the
no.
cherries go first because they're the best ones.
Yeah. And then the ones that taste like grapefruit, is it?
Anyway,
They're all
sorry.
sour.
Passion
Anyway,
fruit.
back on the game.
Sucks.
What was your favourite mini games?
I just want to say that I think the minigames are generally obtuse. Like, it's very hard to figure
Oh
out.
yeah. There's no instruction whatsoever. Is
Right.
there?
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
there
a massive problem.
there was
Half pipe,
instruction
I gave up
manual.
on. I
There
couldn't
was
do
none
it.
in the manual, and to be honest, it was just a stick and one button, so you shouldn't struggle that much, really.
No, because like the half pipe, you didn't know when you had to
Idiots.
press down and
we had
up.
to look that up, and it's
I
very
don't even know. I didn't know it was down and up. I was doing left and right.
But then
I was like, my character's moving left and right. I should press left and right.
before you all get angry, back in the day, I remember playing this with friends of my brother, and it was really hard back then. It was notoriously difficult to, I want to say master, but it wasn't really mastering. It was
Just to play. It's
I,
just hard to
um,
play.
I compare this game to when you go shopping and you get a shopping trolley with a bit of a gammy wheel. I compare it to that because it's frustrating, but you can't be bothered to get a new shopping trolley. You want to master it because it's a shopping trolley, and you
Yeah,
shouldn't be
that is-
shopping.
that's
and
true,
just because
actually.
you've got a gammy wheel means I don't care. I've got the shopping trolley now. I'm going to do it, and that's what this game is. It's a bit gammy, but those bits make it funny. So, for example, the surfing
There's
is
no-
hilarious because if you hit the bottom of the screen on the surfing, he'll fall off the board. So the moment you start, you have to push left straight away.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he just falls off.
That's not
and it's-
funny.
It is. It's brilliant.
It's not
And like the
funny. Am I
skateboard, the roller
For,
skating, she has to like jump over cracks for no reason. Like, just why are you jumping over the cracks? Just go normal.
For a long time with the surfing
Brilliant.
minigame, because I thought you'd press right to go right, I didn't realize that left would tilt the board left, which would make you go right. So I just kept pressing right, and it just like kept swerving into the ocean. I mean, it's quite badly designed in places.
Yeah, the mechanics aren't good.
I didn't know you could turn in football.
Neither did I. That's incredible.
Footbag was back in the day when I was a kid was my favourite because
Okay, can you clear
there,
this?
there were levels of skill in
Yeah,
Footbag.
but can you clear
especially.
this up, right? Because the sidekicks, what are they good for? You can't catch them. It's
The
impossible.
sidekicks are if the ball is just slightly falling down to either side of your feet.
Yeah.
you can use those. The best
But then
thing
it
to do
kicks it
in-
off to the side, and you can't get
Yeah, you
it.
can only
You
do
have
it
to
near the edge
move
of the
over
screen.
there to get it.
it's
yeah,
too
it's
slow.
Can't
not
move fast enough. I think it's only for the edge of the screen, really.
And there's like a masterful skill like to that kickback thing. And I've never seen a game since do that sort of mechanic. I was thinking it'd be good for a platformer, like
That's
you're
'cause it's
moving
rubbish.
and you've got like juggle a ball as you're doing the platforms as well.
No, you've got games that do, you click a ball to keep it in the air.
I guess so. Yeah, it's kind of similar.
Those usually flash
I've only
games,
ever seen those on like web like
simple enough
HTML5 games.
There is Cup and Ball, of course, which does a
We
very
love Cup and
similar
Ball.
thing.
That's true.
My easiest one in my opinion was BMX. Very easy. Just
I didn't like
go along.
BMX.
Didn't
Thought
like
it
it.
was hard.
Hardest one is the one we're looking at now. Half pipe skateboarding is so hard,
Yeah.
and the guys who are good at skateboarding on that, they were incredible.
Oh, you can do kickflips. Oh.
You can do, I do anything. It's basically Tony Hawk's. I mean,
It's really not.
I love about the skateboarding one as well, and this is why the game. I love back in like the retro '80s and stuff like that. The games of they had such small processing power, and every bite was critical, and yet they felt the need to put in ridiculous little comedy moments. Like for example, with the
You keep saying comedy moments. This game is not
no,
funny.
with the bit with the skateboarder, when you fall over, the board will carry on and then just come back and whack the guy in the head,
Yeah,
and he'll
that
go
was very
ow
gratifying.
when he gets hit. And it's just, and the fact that you can, like, they were struggling so much to make, like, oh, you know, how are we going to make it scrolling and stuff? Have we got time to put a seagull in? That if you hit the seagull with the ball, you get more points. Yeah, we can get the seagull in on time. It's like, that stuff works. It's fantastic. But, and yeah, there are just little touches, like when you're doing the skateboarding, there was a worm going along the bottom. Brilliant. Brilliant. No one's disagreeing with me. This is
This
fantastic.
game
Well, no, I'm just
I'm-
flabbergasted at you. Suddenly I'm understanding
I've
your
just-
intelligence level.
I've been really distracted here because we're watching the video where it goes through the different platforms. of
You're
the
going to
game.
say it, aren't you?
And the hacky sack guy on the Sega version is of a different ethnicity to all of the other
the
ones.
Sega Master System has a black guy doing the
Yeah,
footbag scene.
what's up with that? Why have they made that change?
Maybe
Dunno.
the
Different
Sega
target
Master
audience.
System was more popular with African Americans. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
That's still like
They all hacky sack in front of the
like, all the other people are white.
Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
And I also noticed on the different versions that on the surfing one, actually, on the end of the level, some of them have like a proper judges holding up boards, and then some didn't. They just had like sticks in the ground, which is really weird. But yeah, but imagine as well, like this is so like now we have kind of like 4 major platforms, kind of PC, Wii, Xbox, PlayStation. Back then they made this game. There were like 13 platforms this ended up on. What a nightmare for the coding team of like 4 people.
Well, no, some of those
Well, that
were
explains why the game's so rubbish.
some of those were later generations.
Yeah.
Like NES and SNES got versions, and all the Atari different.
They did, yeah. It was over like course of like 3 or 4 years, I think.
So it's not as if they were all competing platforms.
I mean, we still have issues like that with Call of Duty being on the Wii, the Wii U, the PS3, the PS4,
Yeah.
Xbox
I think
One,
the-
Vita, whatever.
Recent one that was on the most amount of platforms, I think FIFA 14 even made it to PS2,
Jesus.
which it was the first ever game, I think, to span 3 console generations of the same console family. If I mean, it
Yeah.
was on the PS2, the PS3, and the PS4. And that's because in South America, the PS2, and particularly in Brazil for some reason, PS2 is still hugely popular.
Brazil always gets shafted with consoles.
Yeah, I don't know why. They've just got the PS2. They're like, oh, PS2! I don't know.
Oh my god!
I don't know why they got Japanese accents.
Jesus.
That's so ridiculous. They're Portuguese. One thing that I found
They're not
interesting about
Portuguese.
this was the selection of sports. Well, what they call sports. I thought it was really good. It was good to see something that was so different, and they took all these alternative sports that in the 80s weren't thought of highly at all.
Well, hacky sack was a pretty big deal in the 80s, wasn't it? That was kind
Well,
of,
yeah, I know.
It wasn't like a major
But it wasn't-
worldwide.
it was pretty
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
major back
To be
then,
honest,
guys.
the hacky sack community have been greatly underwhelmed. There's not been enough focus in the game
know.
industry on the hacky sack community. I think this is the only hacky sack game ever made. So if you
Certainly
want-
the best.
If you want to play
hacky
hacky sack, I mean, hacky sack companies, they when they have their meetups, they're still having tournaments where they play hacky sack games of California games because it's the only one they can do.
Okay, no,
That was a lie, by the way. The hacky sack people don't,
Oh,
don't
okay.
write me angry.
But yeah,
characters in all
I
of
just wanted to
these-
say something positive about it.
Ooh,
So, yeah.
the music.
The music was awful. What are you on about?
They had Louie Louie as the theme tune. That's a great song.
What?
You know, din din din.
You mean
din,
Louis?
Din din. Is it not Louie Louie? I swear it says.
Well, it's
Does he
Louis
not
Louis. Oh,
That's the way he sings it, but it's not.
Louie
It's Louis Louis.
Louie. I've always called it Louie Louie.
It's not Hawaiian.
That's how he sings it. So we got on screen at the moment the Atari ST version, which is the version I played. In my opinion, the best version.
Because that's the one you had.
It's because of the one I had. I was never as good as this guy, though. I mean, the guy's playing this. He's doing the Let's Compare video. Fantastic. He's incredible. World champion.
Oh man, he's done like.
They did.
plans.
The studio that did this after this, they kind of a lot of people left and formed other studios. But they did winter games and then summer games, and then they did for some reason California games, which I thought was interesting because I didn't think.
The third
Because they ran
season.
out of other sports to do.
Yeah,
Like,
but they could have done like I don't know,
Autumn
Go ahead.
games.
racing
Spring
games or
games.
like you know.
Oh, there were loads of racing
Put it this way, although I'd love to see Mario and Sonic at the California Games. That'd be fantastic.
What, doing these events?
Doing these events.
Well,
yeah.
the Maratonic at the Olympics is pretty close.
So which one did you guys do best at?
Disc flying.
yeah,
disc
because
all the way.
we took the time to master it.
we
just 'cause
we
we-
know that game through. And
We
through.
found all these. We found all these different like hidden layers of because we thought that the woman standing still, you had to get it basically on her hand and she would catch
Yeah.
it.
And then bounce it on her fingers. if
To
it
be
was
fair,
really
we did really
easy.
well with that. We got it like within a millimeter precision.
Yeah, no,
of
'cause,
hand,
we thought you
and
couldn't
it-
move her, right? So we thought you just had to aim at her standing
You
still.
were just like lobbing the frisbee and hoping it would hit
Yeah.
her. So
Yeah.
you would just sit there going, woo.
And we'd get it through her face and she wouldn't catch it, and through her like stomach and she wouldn't catch it, and then through her hands she didn't catch it. What's going on? And one time, this woman who had previously only been standing perfectly still was now lying on the ground as the disc flew past, and it was just this sudden like revelation, you know.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, that's the thing I love as well, because when they're lying on the floor, like when the rollerblade girl falls over, she'll like cry and bang her fists on the floor. But the disc frisbee diving one, why the dive always makes me laugh, is because they just face plant. Like they
Yeah.
never dive sideways or dive
Yeah.
any other way. They just go bonk.
They take it very seriously.
And if they catch the frisbee when they dive, they're just lying there face down with their hand in the air with the frisbee. Like, yeah, I got it.
That didn't happen on our version.
no,
Might be the Atari ST version. It's
they
hilarious.
stop
The
and
fris-
just bounce it on their
The
finger.
frisbee gives me the most amount of laughs, although the rollerblading makes me laugh as well. When she gets hit by
What?
a volleyball and she goes, ugh, dunk.
That
You're
pavement,
easily amused, aren't you, Jack?
I am
that pavement in skating is really badly maintained.
very bad on pavement.
She shouldn't be skating on that pavement.
No. She should have assessed the course and gone, I'm not doing this.
Just
This
look
is
down at it, you
dangerous."
think there's a lot of obstacles.
There's like an
in my
entire
way.
squadron of people throwing beach balls there as well.
And I love in the surfing one, the whenever you fall off a surfboard, a shark turns up. It's like, stop surfing there.
It didn't
There's a
seem like it
shark
happened
there.
every time with us, though.
The there's a dolphin that goes
Oh.
like mocks you.
That is a smug dolphin.
The surfing one was bizarre because you had to basically. It took a long time for me to learn this. That when you go up the wave, like you see, if you go up it straight up and then you come down at an angle, you won't land it.
Yeah.
You have to basically the angle you go in at, you have to land the exact opposite
okay.
angle. So if you go in at 45 degrees, you have to come back out at 45 degrees. Because if you go straight up it, you have to go straight down it as well
Yeah.
when you come down. And really skillful, real layers of skill involved to get that done.
Lizanne, do you like these graphics, though?
No.
You don't?
They're bright, they're
Well,
vibrant.
Yeah, I mean, they're
I
alright.
really like the wave in the surfing event that runs.
Yeah.
On a lot of the versions, that's quite a nice wave.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's not a lot there to focus on other than that, but the wave is the entire graphics budget in that game because it's just a board and a person.
I mean, for the Atari ST, which we can all agree isn't a real console,
It's a
looks
computer.
pretty good.
How dare you?
It's a computer, not a console.
You're right,
there
though,
you
because to be honest, when I was trying to get the emulators for it, and there are some great emulators for it. There's one that I'm going to regret saying, I think it's called, like, I was about to say hentai, but I think it's like Hatari or something, and they are really hard to kind of... They're not like your normal emulators where you just pop in a ROM, go... And by the way, I can play this on an emulator because I've still got a copy of California Games, so it's all legal, all above board. All right, Governor, and all that. But yeah, no, it was like ridiculous. You had to put 2 discs in. I remember we learned which events were on which disc. And we'd like, no, don't play that one, it's on disc 2, we'll have to pop it out and put it in again. And what's even weird about the emulators for the Atari ST is not only do they emulate it, they emulate the loading times as well. Which I was like...
That was really annoying. It makes the disc sound as well.
Yeah, no, they actually... yeah,
I think that's really cool, though. Because
it's impressive. I mean, that's
that
what
level of
emulation
detail,
is. Yeah.
even getting the loading times to be correct, that must take some doing.
It might be necessary for the game to run properly or something.
True, yeah.
Well, it's just hilarious because they don't use the hardware that's available. Although then saying that they could be because like some SNES emulators do all this like upscaling, smoothing.
Yeah.
Well, because
Phoenix
isn't
2X,
it not just emulating the
Super
software,
Eagle.
but also the hardware? Because you're not running a small virtual machine or something.
Yeah, essentially.
So then, yeah, it's probably not too hard to get the load times correct then. But yeah,
You know, here's a frisbee event, your favourite.
it's really
So
good.
you lobbed the disc, and now you guys just stand there and hope this disc was going to land.
Yeah,
on the
oh man, it
head.
looks
Well,
so
we were
much
doing this
better
on the
on
NES
Atari.
version. Like,
And I love on the there's signs in the background. Some of the consoles had a version where there was like, there she is, it grabs it. Nah, she missed it.
that's
Nah,
rubbish.
They have a sign that says no frisbee, which again I was like, playing frisbee in the wrong place.
That's
isn't it?
That's
subversive.
because it's called Flying Disc.
Oh no, there's actually a picture of a person with a flying disc. And it's got like a red no frisbee, which I thought, what kind of a park bans frisbee? It's probably the most park friendly game you can play. It's not damaging anything.
well, you are running around.
What if
You
it hits a
might run
goose in the neck?
You might run into someone.
I don't understand why they spent so much time making it look so different for each different console.
Oh, because they're different.
Why did they bother?
I think it was hardware limitations.
Yeah, hardware limitations. They were so
okay.
varied.
They
It's
probably
not that
made one
consoles-
version that looked really good and then scaled it back for each.
Yeah.
Well,
For the others, right, okay.
There are some, like the MSX is such an outdated console that so many events just look completely different. Like the BMX Downhill is almost like Line Rider. It's nothing. It looks nothing like the other ones. And like the skateboarding on, I think it's Atari 2600, just like nuts. Hacky Sack's the only one that across all of them is pretty much the same because you just need the guy going beep
Yeah.
beep kicking the ball.
Well, aside from a few.
In fact, there was a really good There was a really good advert for like I think it was the Atari. I think it was comparing the Spectrum and the Amstrad or something like that, where the guy was standing there with 2 screens, going, "Look at the Spectrum for California Games. It's just so much better." And it was like it had the hacky sack guy on that, the Amstrad or whatever, and hacky sack on ZX Spectrum. It was just a graphical difference, which wasn't much. But back then, it must have been like, "What? That's incredible!" But even you just saw the Atari ST version, and went, "Oh, it looks so much better."
Yeah, it does. It's noticeable. It's
Just
weird
the-
as well because nowadays graphical differences between the consoles, at least the major ones, are minor. But back then, obviously,
Yeah.
it was a big deal.
Well, you look. I mean, I always see on like Eurogame when they do like the "Let's compare."
Yeah,
different
I
games,
mean,
and I look
even-
and I never care.
Exactly, it's so minute. I mean, later on, obviously, I think PS4 games will start to look a bit better, but because it's the superior console. But for now, they're almost identical.
Like it makes me giggle because sometimes I was look at it and be like, they put a line down the middle of the screen. I'm just squinting, going,
Yeah. I'm really proud when I can see
the
anything
rock is a
different.
bit wetter in that one. Yeah, that's right. Where unless you've got at home 2 screens next to each other, you're never going to tell.
Yeah.
That, like,
No.
who cares? Just play them. Just
The,
play them.
One example I like for them putting games on consoles that can't handle them as well is Sonic for the Master System.
Oh yeah.
Because it was on the Mega Drive first, that was the first time Sonic came out, and then they backported it. I guess that's a word. Retroactively.
It's not usually used in the way you've used it, though.
No, probably not. They released it for the Master System as well, and it just doesn't look as good.
Well, it still must occur now to some certain extent that people like publishers must go. Like, what was the Call of Duty game that came out on the Vita? And it was terrible.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think was it like Black Ops 2?
Classified or
I think it's Classified or something, and it, you probably guess that that's a publisher that's gone, we love that game, can you get it on the handheld, or can you get it on something else? And they have to kind of go, bloody hell, like, we want it exactly the same, but
Yeah.
on the handheld. And
So
they
you might
must,
have just paid whoever did Activision to release a Call of Duty on the Vita. Do you hope it sold better?
Yeah, yeah.
Because the Vita's in the toilet.
Yeah, which is a shame because it's
Is
a really
it?
good piece of hardware and it has some
I
quite
didn't know.
interesting
I didn't know it
games.
was. I mean, well, Nintendo just announced the other day that they're like
Yeah, I mean,
shares,
it's not in the Nintendo toilet, but it's not selling well.
No, Nintendo, the 3DS is doing very well. It's just the Wii
Well,
U.
3DS, yeah, but
This
the Wii
thing,
U is...
Nintendo have had to cut their expectations, but their actual reality of what they're selling is still very, very good. It's
I'm
just
not
their,
sure very, very
their
good
expectation was like
It
19
depends. I mean, the
million
3DS
units
is
or something.
all right in terms of the overall product, but the Wii U is... Well, no, because the Wii U has some really good exclusives, and I think later... Is the sound glaring at me? I'm just about to clarify.
I was going to let you finish your point before
The Wii U,
telling you where you were wrong. But
Right now, I'm not. I mean, it's difficult because certain Nintendo games are worth more than the price of admission, like more than the money that you pay just for the game. And I think that can contribute to me being willing to buy the console. But it's going to take maybe another actual Zelda to be released before I'm
Well,
convinced.
the Wii U, I think next 6 months, I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy one because you've got the new
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country game. I think Mario Kart might be coming out.
The Mario 3D World is incredible. It's
Yeah.
like one of the best games I've played.
it's brilliant.
It's taken me nearly like a year, but it's got to the point where I look at the software and go, actually, there's quite a few games I wouldn't mind playing now, and I might get one.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we got one, was because the games are starting to come out for it. And, yeah, wanted to grab one, we could still get one second.
Speaking of good old Nintendo, California games did get released on the Virtual Console in about 2009, reviewed quite well, and this will blow you away. I mean, I'm kind of slipping into trivia a little bit, but this will blow you away. This game got a 97% rating from Zap64. This game reviewed...
Who?
Zap64. They were
Who?
Zap 60,
Oh, Zap64.
Who?
Zap64
Who?
in the late 80s, early 90s were the biggest gaming magazine in the UK. Sorry, I
really?
should have cleared that up. In the UK. They were huge, yeah, they were big. And then
In the UK.
And then CVG became kind of them, and then Games Master and CVG had the big rivalry at the end of the 90s, which I loved. But yeah, it reviewed really well. CVG gave it 37 out of 40. Crash Magazine, oh no, wait. That's random. A game called Crash Magazine gave it 36%, which is really, really low. Sinclair User gave
Oh,
it...
I wonder why.
Sinclair User gave it 8 out of 10. Your Sinclair gave it 7 out of 10. Zap64 gave it 90%. Micro Hobby gave it 5 out of 5. The Games Machine gave it 92%. And this game sold massively well.
Really?
It was number one in the charts over the
How was it-
winter
was it
of
quite cheap?
'87. When I brought it, it wasn't that cheap because it was 7 games in one. You were getting more bang for your buck there.
Also,
Well,
games back then cost so
arguably.
much.
Yeah, they were expensive, even with inflation. But even by today's standards inflation, they were like 70 quid a game.
Weren't
It's
SNES?
insane.
Yeah, weren't SNES games still selling for like 45 quid back
But
in the
you could
90s?
you could get very dirt cheap homebrew games,
Oh,
which
yeah,
was great
yeah.
because I remember going in and you'd get like they barely even had box art. They were like 50p. It was ridiculous. But and yeah, it came out on a lot. It came out on the Virtual Console in 2008 over here, 2009 in North America.
Anthony's doing a bit again.
Anthony's on Facebook right now.
Why-
That's
why-
how much he's paying attention.
Why are you on Facebook right now, Anthony?
Oh, well, you were reading out, review numbers, and there's no reason for me to contribute to that, because I don't know any.
So just go make a sandwich then or something. Why don't you just leave the show?
I'll have
Yeah,
a
just-
ham and cheese.
I actually just made a sandwich before I came here, so I don't really need one. But thank you for the offer.
Yeah, I'm cooking a pulled pork joint in the oven. It's been in since 12:30 actually. It's going to be ready when I get back. I'm very excited.
Do you want to know a good bit of trivia about the game, Anthony?
Yes.
That will bring you back on board.
I do know I'm finished now. I'm back on board already. But yeah, go ahead.
California Games. So you've got Chuck Summerfield worked on this. He was developer of the Half Pipe game. Do you know what game he went on to go and do?
Tony Hawk's.
Chips Challenge.
Oh, cool.
Another guy called Ken Nicholson. He was the designer of the Footbag game. He was the inventor of the technology behind DirectX.
Oh, cool.
He went on to do that. And Kevin Norman, the designer of the BMX game, went on to found the educational science software company Norman & Globus, makers of the ElectroWiz series of products, which you might think never heard of them, but they were huge as well. So a lot of the guys who worked on this went on to big things,
In the
which shows because it's amazing.
in the flying disc game, whatever they called it, I really like that or on the NES version at least, because the graphics are different on the Atari version I played.
Mhm.
If you throw it basically perfectly, the disc will go above the screen and into the area where it shows you where the players are, like the map area.
Yeah,
So it's like you're breaking the graphics.
yeah.
You've thrown the frisbee so well that you've gone into a different dimension with it.
Well, that's the thing I did love about this game. It was those little bits like the fact that you could hit the seagull with the ball, the little worm on the BMX level. They're just tiny
Yeah, but I'm not
tiny
sure
little
they
differences
intended
that
the
gave
disc
the
to go
character
off
atmosphere, gave it atmosphere, gave it character.
I don't think they intended for the disc to go off the screen though. That's a bit.
Well, I think they must have done it in test. Like they must have gone, oh, it still
They didn't
works,
intend
leave
for the
it in
disc to
there.
go off the screen. It would have bounced off the sky and come back down. They
That would have been good.
they obviously intended it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be programmable for.
That's
it to
true.
do
It's
that.
just strange that they didn't just I don't know.
And I love, so many memories, so many good games. Such a great game. I haven't really got much else trivia on the game, which is a bit of a shame. Apart from the fact done really well, sold really well. Great game, everyone loves it. It's fantastic.
I wonder what they mean by sell pretty well.
This type of game, for me, illustrates quite well the difference between old games and new games. Because, I mean, this is like... You'd never look at this and think it was any kind of art. You'd never look at this and think it was like an adult pursuit. You know, this, to me, it's something that kids would enjoy. Like, really, if you're... Imagine you're a 45-year-old working professional lawyer guy. You're never going to play this. You're not going to waste your time playing this. You have like 2 hours every evening in which you can relax, do something. You're not going to be playing California games. But nowadays, that same dude would totally be playing like GTA 5 or whatever. So I just think it's interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think this was kind of...
This is more like a pick up and play, like Angry Birds kind of thing, but obviously Angry Birds was successful because it was portable. But
exactly.
This is the kind of... It is pick up and play. You don't need the background, you don't need the context. It's just, do you want to play a game? Yeah, let's play this. And you're straight into it. Like,
yeah, I just think that when people, especially the mainstream media, talk about games like needing points and goals and stuff, this is the type of thing they're envisioning, It's almost a different type of medium.
It's very... sort of a distraction rather than an engagement.
Yeah, precisely.
It's like an arcade game where those like claw machines in arcades.
Yeah.
It's that sort of gratification rather than I can finally get this physical motion right, rather than I'm going to see what happens when I do this.
But you're saying all this like you're forgetting that this was cutting edge technology.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I think people would have played this because they would have looked at the waves in the surfing and go, "Oh my god, I don't need to go to the beach anymore and surf. I can do it in this game."
I think James is looking.
I mean, when I was playing the surfing, when I played the surfing, I mean, I feel like I'm getting wet. It's fantastic. It's great. And when I'm BMXing, it's like I've got the wind blowing through my hair. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was cutting edge
I'm
technology.
glad
back in
your
the day.
imagination is that powerful.
I even remember thinking that the pixelated women were quite attractive in this.
Well, at the time, they were
especially the
most
rollerblading girl.
attractive pixelated women you ever
Is that
saw.
a girl?
Look at her. Yeah, she's fantastic. Look at her go. Look at those thighs. Spinning on the spot on her rollerblades. Jumping over cracks. Hitting into beach balls.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
I'm sure it makes you wet.
No, with the rollerblading, I could feel the sand. It's like I'm in California. People say to me, "Have you been to California, Jack?" And I go, "No, I haven't." Oh, no. Well, I'll go, "Yes, I have." Oh, no, it was in that video game, California game. Sorry,
You
I'm getting
finished
You
confused.
do not say
I do.
that. No,
I
you
get confused.
don't.
It feels like I was there.
after you finished playing the skating minigame for a while. You looked down and said, "Yeah, I do look a bit browner."
The game that gives you a tan.
That was probably just your TV, to be fair.
Right, I'll see if I've got any other trivia before we go on to the retrograde part of the show. But I don't think I have, because obviously the game wasn't... well, it was loved, but...
Good. The game wasn't good?
No, you've given us enough. The trivia was good.
Yeah, I think we can safely close
Hold on.
trivia.
Yeah, no, I think I'm all out. I don't think I've got anything else. Apart from the... there was a sequel made, California Games 2. Didn't sell very well because it had a different development team working on it. And it was also pretty rubbish.
What games did they include in that? Do you know?
It's a good question.
BMX 2, Flying Disc 2.
It's a very good question to
Footbag 2.
ask.
Flying
Return
Disc
of the
3,
Footbag.
Flying Disc 4, BMX 3.
I'm going to find out for you. I mean,
Strikes
what
Return of the Footbag is the third one.
Oh, yeah,
Well, it's
I
Revenge of the
forgot.
Footbag.
what sports are you hoping were in there?
Boxing.
I'm wondering what else they could, because
Jogging.
Well, what's California?
Jogging.
Fencing.
So,
Jogging. Trampolining.
same
I
publisher,
imagine.
same developer, US Gold and Epix, but it was released on the California Games released on Amiga, MS-DOS, Master System, and SNES in '93. It had hang gliding, jet ski,
Oh.
snowboarding. Is California? Can you snowboard in California?
If there's a dry slope.
I think I'm sure I've seen a cat like come visit California, and I have seen a dude snowboarding in the advert. So I don't know where they've got snow. If you're out in California, tell us, can you snowboard in California? Body surfing and skateboarding again. And, it was badly received and didn't do very well, and people didn't like it. And the Wikipedia page on it is about 4 lines. Not like California Games, where there's a whole paragraph of it. Some cultural influences. Game was used in an episode of Captain N. You've ever heard of that? Comedy skit by Mega 64. And in American Dad, there's an episode called Son of Stan, where Stan is doing tricks, and it's basically a complete replica of the skateboarder jumping up and down, doing the skulls, going wicked, and all this sort of stuff. But
Big cultural impact then.
Yeah, massive.
massive cultural impact. I mean, people are still talking about
I
it.
heard the Queen plays this.
I can imagine that big skateboarders. I'm surprised Tony Hawk hasn't turned around and said, like, "Where'd you get into skateboarding?" He's gone, California Games, got me into skateboarding.
I think he's too old to have gotten into skateboarding because of this.
He got into
I'm pretty
skateboarding
sure this
because
game has
of,
skateboarding in it because of Tony Hawk.
He got into
Whether-
skateboarding because of Back to the Future. He saw Back to the Future and thought that was awesome. Seeing
really?
Marty McFly ride around on a skateboard, and so he decided to learn skateboarding. True story.
Really?
It's a fact.
You sure about that?
I'm sure I read that somewhere, or someone told that to me, or I
In your
dreamed
mind.
it. Let's
I
go into
often
the
dream facts.
let's go into the retrograde part of the show.
Axe.
Let's go for the classic sports. What game would this be? It was a sport.
I've got it.
Uh,
Golf.
What's that?
Really dull. Supposedly easy to play, but difficult to master. Like this. And good way to ruin 4 hours of your life, really.
Okay.
I think that's what Churchill said. No, something about golf ruining a walk.
It's a good way to ruin a nice walk.
That's it, yeah.
Golf.
So this is a good way to ruin a video game.
If you find yourself in golf, keep going.
Yeah.
That's what Churchill said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes,
We
I
will-
would give this game golf.
I think he said we will golf
Very
them on
dull.
the beaches as well. I think that was the one Churchill. He liked saying golf a lot, didn't he? Who wants to go next?
Me.
I've got to think of a sport. Go on.
Footbag.
Why is it like a bag?
Because footbag's sort of quirky and amusing to look at, and this game's sort of quirky and amusing to look at. And but no one should take it seriously. It's not a serious sport.
We're really going to annoy the Footbag Society of America when they start emailing us going, I think you're fine.
Once they get into the boardrooms,
Hacky sack.
once they finish playing this game in the boardrooms after their meetings.
I've never played hacky sack.
Really?
I used to play it in school.
Yeah, me and my
It's
friends went through a
rubbish.
big
Have
phase
you
at
ever-
school playing it.
Have you ever like kicked a ball and then kicked it again? Back to the ground?
Yes, I
Then
have.
you've played this freaking.
Well, there
game.
must be some difference. What's it? Is it because the sack's like a bit? It's like a beanbag.
It's like that big kind of thing, and then it's just a beanbag.
How do you score points?
You
You just don't let it hit the ground.
But are there like championships? Like, there
like
must be
keep
like
it
up.
who can keep
It's
it
like
up
keep
in the
it
air.
up.
Keep it up. Oh, fair enough. James, what are you going for?
I'm gonna go for fencing because it's for nerds.
Fencing's awesome.
No, it's not. It's really boring.
Sword fighting.
It's like but it's not sword fighting if you have to wear a stupid vest. That means
oh
you
yeah,
don't
no, that's all
die.
rubbish.
Fencing could be so awesome, but it's not because it's too safe.
It's too.
And how does that relate to this game?
Yeah.
It's they were.
Did they play it
they
too
were,
safe?
They were safe with their design choices. I don't know. Fencing.
James just wanted to rant about fencing. I'm gonna go for football.
James rants about fencing every
But
time.
football's brilliant.
Football is brilliant, and what's great about football is it's the only sport. And I'm looking at you, rugby and basketball and ice hockey and all those other sports. It's the only sport that all you need is a ball, and you can
And you
pretty
need
much play.
Jumpers for goalposts.
Yeah, take off a bit of clothing, put them on the floor. You got goalposts there, buddy, and that's it. And that's what
And you need a ref.
All you need a ball. Like if I was
And a lino.
If I was like one of these celebrities travelling around for like comic relief or
And you
like
need a
doing a charity
keeper.
thing, and I was going to Africa, I'd just
you
bring
need
a ball.
some nets.
I wouldn't bring like a health aid pack or water. I'd bring a ball. Because I
don't-
love that.
You don't need a ball for rugby though. You just
You
need
know-
a group of sweaty men.
You know, yeah, but
Don't
how does
need a ball.
that relate to this?
Because it's universal. Anyone can pick it up and play it. You see a ball. If I
couldn't.
If I,
I
pop
couldn't
in
pick it up and play it. I had to look up the instructions on
Yeah,
how
we
to
had to
play
look
it.
up the instructions as well.
You can't just pick it up and
And
play
we do a
it.
retro gaming podcast.
Why were you struggling so much?
Because
it
the
doesn't
controls
explain
don't
it.
make sense.
There was one button.
Wait, can I just
No,
say?
there wasn't. There was loads.
My microwave is harder to operate than this game.
Can I just say?
Go on.
We're watching
Pick
the
up
Genesis
play.
version on the screen right now through this Let's Compare.
This is the one I played.
And the person surfing, it's a surfing event, keeps getting beach balls thrown at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But this is a
That's
really...
fantastic.
Yeah, this is my one.
This is a huge wave. How is this person getting beach balls?
And I love the judges are like, he's doing too well. Lob a beach ball at him.
Actually, they might be floating up to him because they sort of they're waving back and forth. But
Maybe
still,
that's what they do in California. Next time I'm down in Newquay, I'll
Try
launch
and
some
kill
beach
the
balls.
surfer.
I just realised it's cross-game continuity because the people throwing beach balls at the beach at the skater, they're rolling down the beach into the water and hitting the. They're all doing it in the same area. The beach is near the.
We go to
Golden Gate
BMX
Bridge.
guy who's running along and goes, what are those beach balls? Well, the BMX course has just like logs lying on it. I'm like, who laid out this BMX course? There's potholes all over the place.
Yeah, it's badly maintained.
What was I going to say? Yeah, no, football because it's pick up and playable. Anyone can pick up and play it.
This isn't pick up and play.
I don't, like,
Hacky sack is pick up and play.
yeah, exactly.
An actual
yet-
hacky sack.
And
Yeah,
yet
actual
football-
hacky sack is pick up and
But if you want to
play.
take football seriously, like this game, there are levels you can go up to the Premier League, just like this game, where you can master it. You can get
There's
high
kick,
scores,
there's
take
run,
on the World
There's
Championships.
kick and run.
Kick
There's
and
run then
running.
kick. There's kick and don't run. There's run without kicking and then get the ball kicked to you and then run and kick it again.
I'm going to, from now on, after playing this game, whenever someone says to me I might go on holiday to America, I might go to California and say, don't bother, I've got something for you, come here. Put a blindfold on them. Hopefully, I'm going to try to see if I can port this to Oculus Rift, and then basically there you go, you're in California. Done. Fantastic. Yeah, football.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Awkward silence at the end.
Oh,
Yeah,
terrible,
football.
terrible. We've lost our touch.
We've lost, yeah. No, it's just because you've all been flabbergasted, but the fact that this is an amazing game. I picked this, you've never played it, you've all gone, oh, that's a great game.
It's awful.
God damn, it's
I liked it.
fantastic.
I think it was good.
I don't feel strongly about it, actually.
There we go. All bases covered.
This was nearly going to be the oldest game we've ever done as well if it weren't for bloody Zork. We're never going to beat Zork, unless you do Pong.
I preferred Zork to this.
Yeah, Zork.
At least,
come
Zork,
on.
at least Zork, I knew how to play it.
Oh,
Type
God.
some words in. This took forever.
Did you struggle with the BMX level? I mean, that's pretty obvious. You
No, the
move up and
BMX
down.
level was pretty obvious, yeah.
No,
Half pipe.
The
no.
skateboarding one was...
Yeah, half pipe's
Surfing
hard.
couldn't get.
Half pipe's hard. Surfing's
Also,
quite
hacky
hard.
sack was pretty weird.
Hacky sack was good. Frisbee,
The
frisbee
guy
is easy.
freaked me
if you
out
got...
the way he moved. He just kept going.
The frisbee one took us a long
As he's
time
moving side to
figure out.
side, it's like Zoidberging.
like a crab.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see a next gen hacky sack game. It's definitely going to be in the
Oh
works.
my god.
Um,
The
But
actual
yeah.
game Hacky Sack isn't that popular. That's popular enough to warrant a game.
We are really screwing those guys over. Like, we were going to get complaints.
From the Hacky Sack
Yeah.
guys. It's alright. They'll all be
I like
high,
hacky
so
sack.
they
I'd
won't
play
bother.
hacky sack with you guys if you wanted to.
should we have a game of hacky sack on the common tomorrow?
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
the
guys.
common tomorrow.
Oh,
Sound
do you
like
mean
a
on
What?
the? Do you mean on the
we don't
quad,
live
bro?
in a village.
On the quad, yeah, I'll meet you on the
Come
quad.
on the
We'll-
Let's
quad.
bust out a sack.
I don't know where you would buy a hacky sack. Can you buy them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where would I get a hacky sack?
I've got two
Lanes.
hacky sacks for you right
internet.
here, Jack.
The internet.
You can-
Well, yeah, you can say that about any. Where can I get a rhino from? The
Go
internet.
to the skateboard
Well-
shop in the lanes.
Asking where you can get something isn't to prove that you can't get anywhere. It's to find out where you can get it.
If it was, do you know where I can get like some apples? The internet. You can't just say the internet. That's the answer for everything.
No, because you can.
Why,
that's
well,
why I
why
got
are you
my hacky
asking
sack.
questions then?
Because if I said where can I get a hacky sack, I didn't mean where can I
I
get it.
told you the
internet.
skateboard shop in the
You
lanes.
weren't asking because you wanted to get one. You were asking to prove that you couldn't get one in town.
Yeah.
Well, no,
Where can I get a hacky
The
sack?
skateboard shop in the lanes. I've said this.
Jack,
3
I think
the
if you
skateboard
went
shop.
to the skateboard
Oh,
shop
yeah.
in the
I'll go
lanes-
there first. If they haven't got it, then I'll
Because-
go on the internet.
No. Then you go to the magic shop in the lanes where they sell juggling balls, so they might have hacky sacks too. Honestly, you're rubbish. So's this game.
Well, okay, we'll have a game of hacky sack. Next week's show is going to be hacky sack.
Yeah.
graphics were terrible.
Yeah, no, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, you can visit our website at retrogradeshow.com. Show notes for the show can be found at psychon.net/R43, which is kind of confusing having two different websites, but well, never mind.
No, it's the same. website.
Same one. cscion.net/R43, which I hope this is the 43rd episode. Yes, it is.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Lost count now, doesn't matter anymore.
You said 43 at the start.
Yeah, you'll also find links to our Twitter feed. We can do the competition link. We've also got Facebook page and obviously iTunes. And don't forget to go to psychon.net and check out our other sister podcasts because they're equally awesome. Lastly, if you enjoyed the show, yeah, please take time to write a review on iTunes because that's the most important
You
one.
get a badge.
Get a badge.
Right now, you're listening to that, and it's just, well, I say listening, you're kind of just letting this information pass through your ears. But listen, do actually write a review, because that'd be cool. We'd like that.
Even if it's a negative review, we
Yeah.
still send you a badge. Unless you don't want
Be
one.
the
'cause you're
exception.
negative.
Let this be the one time where you actually do participate with the media you're consuming. You know? Hey, why not?
Yeah.
Do it.
Actually, no, we might not be worth the one time they ever do it.
Well, I mean, this could start a trend, you know?
I mean,
And enter the
if we're
competition.
gonna talk about the reason the iTunes review is important because when you write iTunes reviews for us, we get
Our egos increase.
it pushes us really high up the podcast table on iTunes. We might even make it to the front page. If you make it to the front page, you're golden.
no, obviously that's not important to us. We only do this for the love of games.
Oh yeah,
And our
I'm in
listeners.
it. I'm in it for the glory.
We don't. You're in it purely for the ratings.
glory.
The 5-year plan is to get our own TV show.
Hmm.
Currently, we're in year 2, and it hasn't happened.
If someone phoned me and said, "Jack, we want to do a TV show with you, but just you," I'd sail you guys down the river in a heartbeat.
I'd ask
They
them-
wouldn't want just you.
They
I'd
would.
go on
I'd
Celebrity
ask-
Big Brother and bitch about you for days.
I'd
You'd just be
ask-
voting me off even though I'm not in the house.
It'd be like that Butler guy
Jack.
who went on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out Here and started talking about Princess Diana, but
Oh,
with me
yeah.
and you.
I'd ask them who.
So I'm the Diana in your life.
Yeah.
I'd ask them which actors
corpse.
they were getting to replace us. Because we are not TV ready.
Well, there is like on BBC they have like film 2013, 2014. So they don't have any like game 2014. And there's market I think for a mature adult game show. Game show, video game show. I want to see an adult game show. Yeah, but we're going to be back in. Well, you got it right here. You don't need to see it on TV. Just listen to our show because this is an adult game show right
Yeah.
here. We're back in 2 weeks. We're going to be playing Rayman 2: The Great Escape. Is it called The Great Escape? I've just written
I
that
think
down.
so.
Yeah, Rayman 2. You chose Anthony. Any reason why?
I did, yeah. We've done, which may not be any surprise to our listeners, lots of 2D platformers. But Rayman 2 is a very well-received 3D platformer.
Who chose it?
Anthony.
Did Anthony choose it? That's
Yeah.
interesting, because all of the games Anthony seems to choose involve often two dimensions, usually... would it be fair to say platforming as well? Would it be fair to say that you usually choose two-dimensional platformers? Would it be fair? Would it be
I
fair?
think we'd have to
actually?
look through my past
I mean, would it be
choices.
fair to say that you only ever choose 2D platformers?
I'm not sure that is fair, because we have a list that we can go through and check the facts.
Would you like me to
Okay.
check those facts right
Yeah,
now?
check
for you?
them
'Cause
right
I am
now.
loading
Check
it up.
those
I mean,
facts.
the listeners don't care. They want to hear more, so let's just go for it. Well, you...
Are we trying to pad out to an hour right now?
No,
This game sucks.
No, we've gone well over an hour. People who are listening thinking, man, I've gone well over an hour.
This is
on
like hour
game.
5 now. Keep listening, though.
This is what's
Okay.
going to be funny. When people say, oh, I've done California games this year. 1 hour and 10 minutes on California games. Bloody hell. You chose Super Mario Brothers, then you did DuckTales, episode
Platformer,
35. Go back and
platformer.
listen to that one's a great episode. Sonic the Hedgehog,
Platformer.
Toe Jam and Earl,
Platformer.
Zombie Ate My Neighbours,
Not a platformer.
Quake,
Not a platformer.
Metal Slug,
Platformer.
Super Mario World 2,
Platformer.
and Kirby Superstar,
Platformer.
and Gunstar Heroes.
Platformer.
He's right. You do a lot of 2D
Wow.
platformers.
Mm.
Right, so this time I went for a 3D platformer.
Oh, wait.
And it's because it's well received, and I think since we've done so many 2D platformers, partly thanks to me, this will be a good comparison, because 3D platforming is often way harder to pull off, just because of... We found that out in the Bash Bandicoot.
Bash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot episode, that
Yeah.
3D platforming can be hard. But this one's apparently quite good, so I think I'll be coming to it fresh, so that we
Cool.
can check it out and see how they managed to make it well received. If indeed it was well received,
Yeah.
I've just heard that. I mean,
Do you know what else is not a 2D platformer?
what's that?
Transport Tycoon, episode 5. Go back and listen to that one. It's a great
Don't do it,
episode.
guys.
It's a fantastic
Oh
episode.
my
It's the best
God.
one we've ever done. It's still the best one. If they said Jack put forward a show to win an award, which episode do you want to be caliber of the show? Transport Tycoon.
The Archetype.
The Archetype. That was the
That
was
when-
awful.
that
I
was when we
remember so
peaked.
much anger.
That was when we jumped the shark.
So much anger.
Well, that's because it wasn't a game. And the whole
Fury.
point is to review a game.
Relentless fury.
Not from me. I had to backtrack.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Next
Rayman
one's going to
2
pick a
is,
film. Yeah, Rayman 2 and Dreamcast.
It's on. I think it was on PC, Dreamcast, maybe PlayStation, because they ported it to a few
Yeah, I
things
think it's on the
later.
PS1.
I think it even went on to the N64.
But if
Oh,
you want
really?
to play it, listeners,
I think,
it's on
yeah.
goodoldgames.com, GOG.com for the PC, and that's one
Awesome.
of the
That's
best
where
versions.
that's where I'll be getting it. Awesome.
Yeah.
So make sure you play that for our next episode. And that's a goodbye from me, Jack Marshall. Goodbye from Anthony Hobday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Lizanne Fisher.
Bye.
And a goodbye from James McFadden.
It's, sometimes I worry about the computers.